Good morning, everyone. Bon matin, tout le monde. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge and recognize that the lands on which we are gathered today are the unceded ancestral territories of the Algonquin Anishinaabe peoples whose stewardship has cared to these lands since time immemorial. My name is Rodrigue Gilbert, and I'm the president of the Canadian Construction Association, the national voice of Canada's construction industry. It is my pleasure to be here today, joined by my team, representing over 18,000 members firm and 1.6 million workers from across the country. Together, we represent an industry that contributes over $151 billion to Canada's economy, making up over 7.4% of Canada's GDP. And that's just the beginning. Beyond the direct economic impact, construction fuels a powerful ripple effect, driving growth in countless sectors and communities from coast to coast. It is not overstated to say that our industry is the backbone of Canada's economy and the foundation upon which so much else is built. Beyond the economic impact, the construction industry builds the critical infrastructure Canadians rely on every day. We build the schools where our children learn, the hospitals that are care for us, the roads and highways that connect our communities and economies, and the housing that becomes our home. Every project, big or small, is built with purpose and care, driven by people committed to creating a stronger, safer, and more resilient Canada. Construction is at the core of everyday lives, and we take that responsibility seriously. Yet, regardless of this impact, the industry is facing challenges that is making it harder to build the Canada we all deserve. And for far too long, governments have taken construction for granted, not taking our concern or issues seriously and ignoring our unintended consequences along the way. That is why we are here today. At the start of the federal election, we launched a Construction for Canadian campaign to call on all political parties to stop taking construction for granted and commit to real solutions that strengthen our economy by investing in infrastructure, growing our workforce, and modernizing procurement. But this campaign has never been about the industry. It's about Canada, and it's about Canadians. We cannot grow the economy or develop the infrastructure that we need to compete globally and respond to political and economic challenges without construction. I'm proud to say we've made construction a central issue to this election with the support of over 57 partner associations, local construction associations across the country. This grassroots campaign mobilized Canadians from coast to coast. Hundreds of letters were sent to local candidates by Canadians who recognize the critical role construction plays in building a better Canada. And it has paid off. Nous sommes heureux de voir que tous les grands partis ont pris la construction au sérieux et proposent des engagements électoraux qui ont le potentiel d'avoir un impact positif sur notre industrie. Whether it's workforce development, cutting red tape, or getting more home bills, we're encouraged by many of the plans presented. However, we have yet to see any party put forward a comprehensive long-term plan to solve the problem that our industry and Canada have been seeing for decades. While immediate action is required, many of the critical challenges we see today will need long-term sustainable plans to go beyond the next 4 years. Short-term promises are not enough. Canada needs a sustainable, forward-thinking investment strategies to ensure that we are ready for the future. As our country's economic landscape evolves and our resilience is tested, notably in relation to the U.S., the demand for new and improved infrastructure will only grow. To support Canadians, the next federal government must support construction. Alors que la campagne électorale tire à sa fin, notre travail ne fait que commencer. L'industrie canadienne de la construction a été aux côtés des Canadiens et nous continuerons à faire part pour résoudre les nombreux problèmes auxquels notre pays est confronté. Mais pour cela, le prochain gouvernement fédéral doit donner la priorité à la construction, même après les élections. Canada's construction industry has always stood by Canadians, and we will continue to do our part to solve many of the issues our country is facing. But for this to happen, the next federal government must prioritize construction even after the election is done. No matter which political party wins the confidence of Canadians after Monday's elections, the Canadian Construction Association will continue its work to hold government to its promises and advocate the needs for our industry, and ultimately, the needs of Canadians. Our team will continue to work closely with the next federal government to find new solutions to the challenges we face, collaborate to support our country's economy, and create pathways for growth so that together we can build a strong foundation for Canada's future. To Canadians, I want to leave you with this message. When you go to the poll, vote for construction. Vote for new hospital for your loved one. Vote for school for our children. Vote for improving your roads and bridges. Vote for a more resilient infrastructure to power our city and diversify our economy. Vote to build a better Canada. Thank you. Merci.
Nous n'avons pas de questions pour le moment. We don't have any questions at the moment. Is there something you would like to add to your statement?
I think maybe just to close, this is a very important election, and I think Canadians should be looking at each of their riding. Every riding is important, and be aware of what every candidate is proposing, and please go vote. That's an essential election, and Canadians need to speak up.
Thank you. This concludes the press conference. Merci, c'est ce qui conclut cette conférence de presse.
Merci.